Don't watch YouTube videos. Why? There's too much information online, and you'll.
The mystic sensation very important rather than in Turkey. The taxative giant.
No, go right.
Because the tax thing was 1997.
That is it.
Right? And you have $47 million before that. Because you told Abdul Stanley that you came into the politics with $47 million. And you came into the politics 1997. Let us make that clear. Is it that clear, Benjamin? All right.
Yes.
So then my question, and let me just bring in Brother Ratty here, right? And I just asked him a question, Brother, that based on what Andrew Holness said, right, is it prudent for investigators to have a conversation with the Prime Minister as it relates to, so we come by that $47 million?
Of course.
Have some level of transparency.
Of
What say you on
course.
the matter, Brother Ratty?
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't ask him previously. And then we must also remember now, I'm trying to figure out how did he accumulate so much money in such a short space of time. And if you recall, his father was in the big business. So he was there and then he asked his
Ratty, you know, say he's a dangerous
father
guy.
to get into.
No, man, I forgot play that. No, Mr. Rattigan, you're a dangerous guy. He man go right to your reference. I have to play that video the way I talk about right now. There's no way I'm gonna make that slide. Mr. Rattigan just made an excellent point a while ago. No, sir. Well, kuya, Andrew, you have a skill. Some bright minds out here, no, man. Andrew, have a skill, Andrew. What me say you have to do? You have to skill. You know your skill. You level of skill where you have skill right now. Skill.
We will bring information to people where they are and in the forms they use.
And also it shows that our fact.
Does it feel to be Holness is actually the father of what people? In growing up, did you from a young age, did he display the leadership qualities? Was there anything that would have said to you that this is a prime minister in the making? You know? He loved education. We need to have a reasonable amount of education. As a matter of fact, one of the times when he failed, I think, 1 or 2 subjects in his A level, he came to look for me and I saw him looking slim and worrying himself. So I told him, don't worry, you're just getting mad each day, so don't worry, let's fight back again, you know, and do it all over. But apart from that, he was very entrepreneurial. You know, I was in the big business, and he was helping me here along with his other siblings. And so that we weren't really making much money. And he said to me one day, Daddy, you have an empty storeroom there. Could you let us make some bag use and you go and sell them? I said, no matter with that, we'll fight that. And another incident, when he was about to graduate, he came to me and said, could you sponsor me, to buy 2 taxis because I checked out and from my home to Spanish Town Center, I could get some money. I said to him again, forget that, go ahead and do your levels and then you can come back out and work. And of course, this taxi business, which he tried to lever the people, talking about 2 taxis, not never, so it's taxi business, which he tried to lever the people, talking about 2 taxis, not never, so I was this taxi business, which he tried to lever the people, talking about 2 taxis, not never, so of course this taxi business, which he tried to lever the people, talking about 2 taxis, not never, so he graduated. And when I went to look for him, I said, what you doing? He said, I'm in the taxi business. And I said, how is it? I said, I have 30 taxis on the road and somebody will have to come out.
Was in the big business. So he was there and then he asked his father to get into the bag juice business. His father said, no. And then if you recall, when the taxi thing came up, his father said, it's nonsense, not go so. So we can just rule out that taxi thing right here. We can rule out the bag juice, we can rule out the big business. And so the question is, where did he get this money from? That's the $1 million question. Where did he get this money from at such a tender age? And also remember, 47 million that he's talking about, it has to be more than that because remember, you have to pay taxes and you have to have living expenses. So if you say my 47 net, then you know it's way past that. So the growth. So we, Mr. Prime Minister, we're asking you kindly to be forthcoming in your response. You're not under oath, so you don't run the risk of perjury, but you need to let us know.
Herbs don't help you heal unless you activate them. Let me explain. It's like, today, not using natural healing is like not brushing your teeth.
How did you accumulate this amount of money? Because there are Jamaicans who would love to do this. Many Jamaicans would love to do this. In fact, most Jamaicans, if not all, would love to, get to, especially young Jamaicans. They're trying to figure out how did the Prime Minister go from having nothing to, and it wasn't even a steady accumulation. You know what I mean? It wasn't steady. It was like, broke, rich. and we don't have any record of him winning the lottery. We don't have any record of somebody gifting him this, whether they're whether alive or dead, through a will or through beneficence. Somebody just give him money. We have no record of that. None. So the question is, where did you get this money? But something I've realized by the Prime Minister is that he's really entrenched in the things that he's saying. So it's hard for people to really reason with him and get truth out of him, because he believes the things that he's saying. He said him so many times, and he has no choice but to believe him. So he believes him. So
Pathological
I don't say that the Prime Minister is pathological recommendations.
I don't worry how this man sleep. I don't worry how this man sleep. I really don't, because he believes in the things that he said, and so it's hard to convince him otherwise. I mean, reasoning with him like one to another, as how we're reasoning, it's difficult to reason. It's going to take a court to make him straighten out, or it's going to take a foreign power to make him straighten out. But I can tell you this: the people of Jamaica, they won't get any answers out of him. They won't, at least not truthful answers. They won't get answers out of him, because the gentleman, everywhere you turn, you can see where there's a contradiction. There is something that just doesn't smell right.
Yep.
And when you start lifting up everything and look on him,
Okay.
you find even more problems with him. And, Mystic, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm a nobody. But the Integrity Commission has to do a lot more for me to call them Integrity Commission. I will continue to call them Commission. And I do it with a good spirit and a good intent, which is to have them to do proper investigations and then make proper referrals, whether it is for prosecution or something else. And I'll tell you why, because I went back and I looked at 7 cases that they screwed up. 7 cases that they screwed up. We're talking from the Prime Minister, from Westcon all the way to Market Mead and everything in between. They screw up. And so let's wait to see if they're going to ask him. But I guarantee you this, Mystic.
Yes.
We are doing much better than the Integrity Commission, because they will not ask him. They will not ask him. It's a question that must be asked. The question is, who's going to ask him? I have no faith and no confidence that they will ask him, because you know what? They had the chance to do it.
And they never did.
Mm-hmm. They had the chance to take him to court and force him to come out and take a stand in terms of providing information regarding illicit enrichment. And they didn't. Instead, what did they do? They referred the matter to FID, which complicated it even more. They should have gone straight under the law. They could have gone straight to court and said, listen, we need this information, and he's withholding it. Please tell him to comply. And the court would have granted the order. I know what would have happened. The Prime Minister wouldn't have provided the information. He would have challenged it. And think about the optics now. Because, we used to hear it. Say, well, if you're not guilty or something, why am I fight them? Just give them the information.
Yes.
But it didn't. They choose another road. But it is what it is. So we will ask the question, and I can tell you, we won't get any answer. But we know the answer.
Ratty, let me ask a question before you go. Based on that information that he had communicated out there, it's now in the public. It's as it relates to print media, right? Observer has it, right? NNN network has it. Can this be a part of feed investigation as it relates to that particular information, and we are feeding out an act on it in terms of asking the Prime Minister as it relates to that $47 million prior in coming into politics? Could that be a part of their line of questioning?
Yes. Because remember now, with some of these violations, there is no statute of limitations, right?
Exactly.
So they can ask. And also remember now, when you go, if you go back and you look at the statutory declaration investigation conducted by the commission, you'll see where they've cast doubt. They have cast doubt on statutory declarations that they themselves certified.
Yes.
Going all the way back to 1997, 98,
Yeah.
they've cast doubt on it, saying that, as far as we can say, these things should have never been certified. We have problems with these things.
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question, yes, he's made the statement. I don't know who's advising him, but I haven't seen it though. But I take at your word that he did make the statement about the 47 million.
Yes.
And, right, and so now he has to. That should be a part of the record. That should be a part of the record.
All right, because that is what I also believe, that should form, right, because it is evidence out there, the Prime Minister who communicated it, right, and so for the process of justification, right, in seeking to purify as it relates to $47 million, right, should be verified,
Correct.
right, through interrogation, through the process of interrogation.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, all right, thank you. All right, Melting Pot, what say you on this? Because this is serious.
Well, this is a very serious and complicated matter we are dealing with. As it relates to Andrew Holness, giving that interview of him coming into Parliament with $47 million, and as Bradley rightfully pointed out, he has amassed more than that, because he would have to pay tax and, living salary taken out of that as well. And plus, let's, that girl will love money from Chicago market with her mother. I don't know say him have so much money on the yard. So if you have only for money to utilize and him left back with 47 million, so we don't have to carry this figure have past 50 mil. But if we look on three potent point of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't get toned with just type.
We know the original head of C-Tax was removed. You understand? By the Andrew Holness administration. They wiped him out completely, I remember C-Tax was commissioned under the People's National Party. They know one dream go to work. Always wipe the blackboard. Please. Yeah, and set him one subject matter. And curriculum. Alright? But here it is. 2009, Cuba highlight the high volume of drugs trafficking around Jamaican waters to the United States. Yeah? And we know Sir Andrew was a part of Bruce Golding administration at the time.
Oh, yeah, you're correct. You're correct.
You understand? Yes? And then that high volume of cocaine and all different type of contraband and narcotic things like that, it run across Jamaica water at an alarming rate that the Cuban them did have it, make the United States them know where going. Now, as Byron rightfully said, and as I have said on previous occasion, there's only two main sources would have provided Andrew Holness with such vast amount of billions.
Yeah.
I mean, over 2 years, Andrew amassed about, let me see, about 8 times the Prime Minister's salary.
My God.
Yeah? Over 2 years,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the Prime Minister get what? Like between 5 and 6 million. Yeah? And we have put him at 40, 50. Yeah? So 8 times 6 are 48. So I'm really on a rapid upward trajectory in wealth.
Yeah.
It's more than the Prime Minister where around the country. Yeah?
That's crazy.
So the two sources is either I'm robbed, but if they are, see, I got charitable organization. Yeah? And I know the wizard would not allow him to rob so much money. And go undetected. Yeah? So then the other era where we are looking to is during that period of time when a part of the Bruce Golding administration when Cuba flagged Jamaica as a major participant in drug trafficking in that region.
Mighty God.
And that's how we feel the guy that the money from with my little 2 cents of critical thinking. Yeah, I am doubt based on when I look through all of the investigation sequence and what we have. Yeah, him couldn't touch the wizard to that extent. But the high volume, I remember him speak about the 47 million after this period where we are talking about him. And when him fully take the mantle, yeah, and 2016, and then him run back on Big Mama, NNN, and go and get the interview. I remember now them have full control of the battle, you know. Yeah, in our hand. And them feel like so well that why, you know, this can relinquish or drop. So careful with this partner now. They might proceed. That's why you hear some party member where I talk about much term I go do. Can't do up to 8 term and we have said that 8-5 a party. If you put it on the guy here at 50 and 90. Other guy that will say I'm going to live to that here. Because them have them thing locked because money stack around them. And Joe, ever since him come in politics, him have drugs money and float all over the place about vote and convince people. And the young youth them like they go good this bag, got them licky. So them work with that system there because it can sustain that system there now. This is why you see fucking so rampant throughout Jamaica. This is why never seen before so much drug bust totaling so much billion. Yeah? Remember under the People's National Party, them thing and acting up. No. You notice marijuana now becomes non-existent.
Non-existent.
When them see it's contraband.
Be a cocaine.
Non-existent.
Be a cocaine, brother.
Just look round at Portland. With the whole heap of cocaine them. Stop on the river bank. Where the boat come from. Just where there. And them have a couple bag of marijuana they like say. Because them all left the marijuana there. As exhibit like say that. No, marijuana a small sprat. Cocaine are the real deal in Jamaica right now. Yeah? Because the cocaine is utilized in a so much different aspect in a Jamaica economy. If down in the hotel, God Almighty, privilege down there, it look bad. It look bad. Yeah, people are flying from overseas and come to Jamaica come have the coke party. Cocaine party, me and talk about people in the set hotel them there. You understand? That's why they have them thing exclusively, fence round and thing like that. And then the one Jamaican them because, you know, yeah, foreigners them who come down, most of them come to this type of lifestyle in Jamaica, because cocaine that Jamaica, wagga. So Andrew making money and him to come tell the Jamaican people say make it through that time there when the cocaine them run through the border. When Cuba flagged the United States and warned them about the high drugs trafficking utilizing the Jamaica water space. Yeah? So we know where to get it from. But if he's honest enough and him want to be, you know, that guy who's not afraid of nobody, then come out and come down. I yield back the floor.
All right, well said, Melting Pot. All right, we are going to get into more serious situation. This time we are going to take a window.
Hold on the people.
Right, and look into the Prime Minister's wife. And that is quite interesting. Right? When we take investigation, right, and channel it, right, looking at Juliet Holness. So Jamaica, I am going to bring you, as it relates to what Juliet Holness revealed, right, into court, right, and we are going to read it. But there's a question that I'm going to ask. So look at this, Jamaica. Honey, bring up that document, right? And this not really look good, Jamaica. We are not, you know, accusing anyone. We just asking questions because
I'm 67 and I'm switching from doing nothing to 7 minutes of Tai Chi chair work.
this needs some clarity. So you're in Jamaica, and this is July 27, 2023. So we want to bear that in mind as it relates to the date, July 27, 2023. And this is what Juliet is saying in court. Juliet owns $800 million apartment complex court battle to continue in January 2024. Right? So pay attention to that. Juliet owns $800 million apartment complex court battle to continue in January 2024.
Wow.
Now, the trial involved an $800 million apartment complex owned by the developer Juliet Holness Company will continue in the Supreme Court in January 2024. Take a read. So Jamaica, I want for you to pay attention to this as it relates to a statutory declaration that Andrew Holness, under the investigation of the Integrity Commission, what being stated there. All right, so bring it up for me. And I want Brother Ratty to look at this and Melting Pot to look at this. So Jamaica, this is it. Statutory declaration. Right? As it relates to the document that I have read, right? As it relates to 2023, that issue came about 2022, 2023. So we are looking at that. But Ratty, this is what I'm asking. I don't want the entire Jamaica to see it, one word to see it. That total assets in terms of Jamaican dollars, right? Both Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness revealed to the Integrity Commission that in 2022, that the total assets, right, Jamaican dollars, 200,367,000. Total assets in US dollars, right, in 2022, 10,157. Total liabilities, 1,652, 1,652, right, 612. All right, if we go to the net worth, the net worth in Jamaican GND, right, 3 million, right, 282. So what am I getting at? Take that down on it. Let me go back to Ratty. Brother Ratty, let me ask you this question. Based on what you see there in terms of Juliet Holness and Andrew's statutory declaration, right? We have not seen nothing mentioned as it relates to the $800 million. Would that clearly indicate that they lied to the Integrity Commission? Let me just put you up, Brother Ratty. In terms of the truthfulness of their asset.
Yeah, it's clear. It's you don't need any interpretation on this. And even if, let's say that they felt that they made a mistake, it wasn't. We don't see an amended filing.
Yeah.
Say, well, we made a mistake and so we're amending it. We didn't say that. All we are saying is that the filings have been uncertified. That's what we're saying. So, and there's a reason for that when they fail to certify it, or they refuse to certify the statutory declaration, means that we have come across something that is wrong. I mean, mistake, if you show one more example of the Prime Minister, you know, in a conundrum, you have shown 1 million. If you show one more, you've shown 1 million. You don't even show no more, because the thing is, I'm telling you, this is an amazing thing, and that's what I'm saying. I think there's something. I'm not in the medical profession, but I think there's something that needs to be examined with this Prime Minister, because I don't know how he can do this and go out in the world, meet with foreign leaders, and things that them don't know. Some of them don't know this.
Yeah.
And him shake and skin him teeth and
like say everything good.
Like nothing.
Something wrong with him for you now. Something wrong with Andrew Holness, really. May I tell you, say something wrong with him mentally. There is a problem, brother. Something wrong with the man. Him don't right it in his brain. A serious, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out about it this year.
As if him don't know, because him know. Because here's why him know. I wrote to the Privy Council in England, and I forgot, it's over 100 members. And I'm gonna say Privy Council. We're not talking about the court Privy Council. We're talking about the advisory body to King Charles. And I wrote to them, and I send them the things where I show. Not all of the things you show, but some of the things you show. I pointed it out to them, and I sent them the report and said, "This man should not be in your company. This man is a disgrace."
Yeah.
And then you know what I did? I sent the letter and the report and everything. I sent all that to Parliament, the Jamaican Parliament. And I said, since the kind of man that I have here, we are leading, you know? And the man just continued to smile and skin him grin and like nothing happened. Like nothing.
Make it a habit. A 10-minute.
Damn. So much advertisement? No, I mean,
But
YouTube
you
our
know
work.
what? We have to continue. Despite what he's doing, we just have to continue, because if we stop, if one person, here's how I look at it. If tonight we have one person who will watch this program and walk away saying, I've seen the evidence, I can no longer turn a blind eye to it. I've seen it that my prime minister is not above board. It will be well worth the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think I'm up at this hour of the night with the amount of people watching me? Because of what he just said a while ago. I don't know what that one person, I don't know how that one person that sees the truth and eyes is open, how that can be a catalyst for more persons' eyes open. So although I am tired, although I would rather go to my bed, I am saying, you know what, let me be consistent because I did dedicate myself. I actually did dedicate myself to do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The nightly news recap. As a matter of fact, if I had gone to work, if I had gone to do a live early this morning, I would have been on at the time when Andre was off. Because Andre broadcast that he was not coming on, and I could have went live at that time if I was available, but I was not. I was not available to go live. You know? That's the only reason why. Because I'm telling you, there is a plethora of things to talk about. You know what? Let me go to Daryl Vaz right now because I'm not going to do no more mistakes. So let me go to Daryl Vaz right now. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Dangerous president advocates. Dangerous president. Advocates say Daryl Vaz's explanation could undermine administration, right? Accountability advocates are warning that accepting good intentions as justification for breaching procurement laws could undermine Jamaican system of public administration following an Auditor General's finding that senior government minister Daryl Vaz improperly acquired 200 Starlink devices after Hurricane Melissa. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this before I go any further in terms of this article. If I unalive somebody when I had the option to handcuff them and bring them to the police, they already submitted, regardless of whatever it is that they have been in breach of. How do I say, you know what? I would do it all over again, although it's against the law. Because I was protecting my family. Your family protected because the person yielded and you could have locked them up and put a handcuff on them and call the police. If you carry them to prison, you have control of the situation, but you decided to take that person's life. You have committed a crime. You trying to justify the crime doesn't make it not a crime. But if the society is going to accept the crime, then guess what? You're going to have to accept all the other crimes that is committed, not just by government officials, but by people in the society. Isn't the government officials held to the highest standard? Didn't Andrew Holness tell us that he is the standard? If he is the standard, why is his standard to defend Daryl Vaz in this instance? Talking about bureaucracy. Janet Call, the executive director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter, JAMP, said while she does not question Vaz's sincerity, this is what you call being safe, ladies and gentlemen. She doesn't want to appear to be questioning his sincerity, because then she would be, how do I put it? She'd be giving her opinion. So she wants to stick on facts. The facts is endorsing his actions, however, would create a precedent allowing public officials to disregard the law whether urgency is claimed. Whenever urgency is claimed, they could disregard the law. So they can use urgency as an excuse to say, we will not abide by the law. That is dangerous. She's absolutely right. Right? She argued that if the country and the head of government, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, accepted vast explanation as justification for the procurement breaches, then the entire public administration framework could collapse. Miss Janet Calder, let me tell you and inform you, madam, it has already collapsed. It has been collapsing right in front of our eyes. These people are the weapon that are formed against the people of Jamaica. Calder is of the view that if the minister infraction is not reproved, it would send a signal that any government official can violate laws by claiming good intentions and urgency. I'm calling on the People's National Party. I am calling on the People's National Party. You guys probably have to do some walkouts very, very soon. Is either you guys walk out, or if every time Andrew Holness and Daryl Vaz or Christopher Tufton or Floyd Green comes up, you guys definitely gonna have to call a point of order and point out certain facts about the Auditor General report and the Integrity Commission report. They should not be allowed to speak. Every 28 member of the People's National Party should rise at a point of order. I was speaking to Colin Bell when he left, when he was ending his show, and I was seeking clarity. And I respected his opinion and how he framed it. You understand? I definitely, at the end of all of it, said, you know what, I agree with you. They definitely can do that. All right, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
For the artists, I'm asking you to subscribe.
Well, we disagree. This same strategy as
on this channel. So, yeah? Strength in numbers.
Listen to this.
Hello, caller. Good evening.
Good evening. You hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
All right. So, in terms of the argument about playing politics, may I try to understand whether should persons and content creators still lie on the Jamaica Labour Party where there is no truth to the argument? Is that what playing politics is?
On this channel, we say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So we don't deal with lies. So if somebody is telling a lie, that's a lie. But also, you have some people who use lie to play politics. So they twist the truth and play politics with it.
Okay.
Like when we hear a man talk about debt to GDP, and him start from 1990, in the mention 89, sorry, and when him reach 2007, him jump over 2007, from 2007 and got 2016. Then they are skill politics. So if you don't know your history, then bamboozle you.
Right. So I'm saying what is expected of People's National Party supporters, and especially the ones them online when them to use the same strategy as a ocean-wide.
No.
That's what I don't understand when people say, oh, we play politics.
No, listen what me mean. When me say, hold on. When me say PNP need to learn. No, but hold on, I want to explain it though. When me say PNP must learn to play politics. You see, like when, all right, had it been a PNP Prime Minister, statutory filing not certified, he would have stepped down already. The GLP need to ease up. You understand? So PNP must learn how to use them position to drive home the interests of the people.
So you think they did not do that enough?
No, they didn't do it enough.
Well, we disagree.
Let me tell you what I visualize. You see, all in the parliament, if me was a parliamentarian, every time Andrew Holness attack, me I get up and say, on a point of order, we need to hear about your statutory filing. we know the speaker of the house are going to tell me to sit down, but it would have been in the record.
Yes.
And continue to be in the record. I don't know if you remember how they did back up Fetch and Ferguson. How they back up Kurt Spencer and make Kurt Spencer ball.
Right.
You understand? And them thing they may have said PNP never vociferous enough dealing with them thing. You see like how Marky G did, alright, you see like how Marky G did make him walk out of the parliament?
Right.
And then last year when Marky G and President Marky G left out that, he shouldn't left you out, he should have go back, see a place and hit him again.
Right. I understand that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
If I saw you mean,
Yeah.
and when people are talking about, me alright with that.
That's
First them
something.
in the parliament for them to stay like that.
Yes, man.
Punch them in the
Make them uncomfortable, man.
Yeah, man. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, man.
No problem with that. Big up yourself. Me like the clarity because it sounded another way when we hear how much people are saying this. So I wonder, do they want the people to follow the lab?
No, I don't want to tell no lie. Because PNP have enough truth to come on social media and talk about. The GLP have enough scandal to beat them, hammer them day, night.
Right.
Call the boss.
We are talking about that.
When we see Daryl stand up in a parliament and I go look for PNP about, you don't think me a let you know off? And nobody say, hey, what to erase a bus them and the document for the bus them?
True.
We are joke, man. We are rap.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
They definitely turn up on that end there.
Yes, man. All yesterday, Mr. Julian get to crush them and not crush them. Me vex.
Yeah, they kind of too passive in that way.
Yeah, man. I them think them mean when me say you have to deal with the politics side of it, man.
And you know, me have to say this, like they can believe to be more aggressive. Like when they were in a campaign.
Yeah, me don't know why I'm toned down. But you tone weird down. Yeah, animal look things to people them, but me don't think you need to beg. You need to demand. All right, my brother. Respect.
Big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man. One love. My viewers and listeners, big up yourself, Bolo. Want to thank everybody this evening.
Big up Colin Bell. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go over to Colin Bell. Alright? Portland Spice TV on YouTube and subscribe. If you let me deal with them money, I think supposed to be at 25,000 up a long time. I don't know why bad mind people are deal with. I don't understand how Colin Bell have this program here. And have the numbers them have and the people them don't want to subscribe. Become like the elaborate them go over there and then just listen and don't want to subscribe because they know say it's a man who support socialism and socialists. You feel what I say? But them money I think for they all 100,000 and 150,000, brother. I'm not joke. Yeah, certain man by the platform with type of value and thing what the man them experience or the man them have. Right now, sometimes some people just bad mind, brother. Yo, on the need to go over here so go subscribe, man. I tell you that straight. Anytime you want to find out what going on with the economy and miss as a matter of fact, I'm supposed to review that video there. I'm gonna review it yet. The latest from the teacher himself, Ralston man. If you let me deal with all now, I'm gonna get to review that yet because so much things are going on. But me definitely gonna review it. You see what I say? But yeah, man, I'm gonna go subscribe. So I wanna see me get some clarity. I got some clarity from him and me appreciate the conversation because me I wonder me I say, oh, people must say PNB they nah, I don't know. I mean I say, but brother, me see man them at the whole heap. See man them at the whole heap in the parliament, outside of the parliament. But no, me understand what them are say. But alright, me could go back to this now, Zane. On what legal basis would the Prime Minister reject their claims if he accepts Minister Vaz? She questioned, right? On what legal basis would Prime Minister reject their claims if he accepted? Like she has said, all right, if the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I go say, I go back up Daryl Vaz and say, yo, me understand and whatever, you know, him do the right thing. Brother, him man do the wrong thing. You can't do the right thing for the wrong. You can't do the right thing. You can't do the right thing. You can't do the wrong thing for the right reasons. It's the wrong thing. The wrong thing outweigh the right reasons. You have to follow the law. Simple and plain, a black and white. You can't go no further than that. Further, the Jump Executive Director asked, why shouldn't sincerity obstruct a permanent secretary from discipline from disciplining a public servant who violates the staff orders. Hey, let's read that again. Why shouldn't sincerity obstruct a permanent secretary from disciplining a public servant who violates the staff orders? The laws, it's interesting that you asked that question, because when you look at the Speaker of the House, she's so adamant about the standing orders and the parliament and stuff like that. She gives no wiggle room. She's really, really abrasive. But these people want to break the law, and we should accept them saying, listen, we did it for the right reasons. So they must act with impunity. They must act without any checks and balances, and we must accept it. You're mad, man. The laws would be rendered meaningless. Of course. That's exactly what would happen. Her comments follow a compliance audit. Her comments follow a compliance audit tabled in Parliament last week, in which Auditor General Pamela Monroe found VAS breached procurement rules by bypassing established procedures to acquire 200 Starlink devices. The report also stated that weeks after the acquisition, at least 121 devices were not being used. Principal Director of National Integrity Action, NIA, Dr. Gavin Myers, said he was surprised that while the communication tools remain unused, there was demonstrably need that was not met. He added that the public should have been informed about the criteria or needs assessment used in allocation of the devices to ensure transparency. Yeah, we weren't informed. Overstepped his policy-making roles. The Auditor General concluded that VAS overstepped his policy-making role and usurped the function of the head of the Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, who is accounting officer responsible for disaster-related procurement. VAS has rejected the findings, calling them uninformed and grossly inaccurate. Really?
To Minister Vaz, your initial response to Auditor General's report on Starlink was one of complete rejection. This morning, you seem to be almost going back on what you're saying with a clarification. Are you now accepting the fact that you did in fact breach the procurement guidelines?
I like that girl there. Lady, big up your nice clean self. African, big up yourself, yeah? Dark skin chocolate, you know what I mean? Big up yourself. I like when you ask the question, is he accepting the fact? not the allegation, the fact that he broke the law. I love the way how you ask that question. But listen to him fumble, ladies and gentlemen.
As minister leading the procurement, that was a breach or not. My position.
Bro. Me not even talk about the girl, but how mainstream media make the politician him get away with shit like this, bro? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Yo, the money a piss me off, brother. How the hell the man actually do that a while ago? When say? When really does say a while ago? Father God take a case.
Breach the procurement guidelines.
Listen to this.
Minister leading the procurement, that was a breach.
Where the R not come from, brother? Where the R not come from? It is a breach, bro. It's not a R not, bro. You think of Arnold this? You think you're Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'll be back. You don't even look like Arnold, so don't get it twisted. You have the same skin tone, but you know built like that. What you talk about, brother? Breach or not? It's a breach.
Or not. My position is very simple. I'm justifying my position.
No, if it's a or not, why would you need to be justifying your position? So you contradict your own argument and your own statement. This statement is null and void, ladies and gentlemen. If you breach the procurement, that means you breach. So that means you try to justify the breach. You wouldn't need to justify anything if you did the right thing. Justification come from you doing the wrong thing and being wrong and strong to say, listen, the reason why you tell them what your wife said, the reason why I cheated is because we were upset this morning and I found somebody to take my frustration out on, to piss you the hell off. That's why I cheated. And the wife is supposed to accept that. Wow.
While basically paying respect to the AGs.
You know, there's certain words that escape me. You know, paying respect. You know, as a phrase, what does that mean? Lord of mercy. Let's see what that means. Pay one's respect. Make a polite visit to someone. So, all right. Respect. Meaning. All right. Respect is a deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities and qualities or achievements. Due regard for feelings, wishes, and rights of others. Admire someone deeply as a result of their ability and quality or achievement. Have a due regard for someone. All right? All right. So, let us examine this argument of respect from Daryl Voss. Let's examine that. All right? Let's examine that. Because maybe I missed something. Maybe I'm listen to this.
There was no breaches of the procurement guidelines, and the documentation that I have released shows that clearly. And secondly, if it is that my timely, effective action as Minister of Telecommunications and co-chair of the Cabinet Subcommittee for the Melissa recovery was beneficial by getting help to those affected persons, whether saving a life, getting food to them, whatever it is, I make no apology whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I go further. In circumstances such as these, if I had to do it again, I would do it again. In response to the opposition statement, I simply say,
in circumstances like these, I would do it again.
To find my position while basically paying respect to the AG's department and her for her job that she does, because I do not.
How do you pay respect by saying that you did not breach? So you go against what her findings are, discredit her findings, and then look at us and say that, you know what, I pay respect to the Auditor General's department. Man, you can't make this up, bro. You cannot make this up. You can't. You just cannot make this up. Anyway, the head of the Office of Disaster Preparedness, the Auditor General concluded that Voss overstepped his policy role and usurped the functions of the Office of Disaster Preparedness Management, who is the accounting officer responsible for the disaster prepared. Oh, I went through that already. In a series of posts on social media platform X last Wednesday, Voss said, "If it in the midst of the panic, buying and price gouging, I am being faulted for intervening to secure devices to assist a national response, then I make no apology." So he makes no apology for breaking the rules and take full responsibility. How do you take full responsibility? How does that work? What does full responsibility look like? I didn't even know about this post. He said, if in the midst of panic, buying and price gouging, I am being faulted for intervening to secure devices to assist a national response. Wait a minute. How did price gouging come up, Daryl Voss? You're telling me that you could not go through you're telling me that you could not procure the documents and go through the right channels. You're telling me that the prices of the Starlink was just going to go up. You're telling me after we got 700 free Starlink, you're telling me Starlink was going to what? Not give Jamaica a good price on 200 more? Man, listen, y'all better shut up, bro. Man, listen to me. This dude is what? What? I am being faulty. What the hell is that? Then I make no apologies and take full responsibility. How? What is that? What is taking full responsibility? Resign then, no? Resign. You have lost the public trust. Resign. He continued, I strongly reject any suggestions of wrongdoing for my justifiable actions. Brother, justifiable actions are not. Wrongdoing is wrongdoing. What? Let's ask ChatGPT. Hold on there. Can wrongdoings be justified? Whether wrongdoing can be justified is a complex philosophical and ethical question with no single universal accepted answer. Perspective range from absolute moral prohibition to situationally consequentialist justification, suggesting that while some actions are intrinsically wrong. Oh my God, bro, wait a minute. No, we ain't doing this. No, we gonna find that word. That one is a what? Intrinsically. Yeah, intrinsically. Others might be viewed as necessary evils. Necessary evils, depending on the context and goal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dangerous precedent here. Justifying wrongdoing? You do not want that from leadership. I just don't need to go any further. I'm going to leave it right there for that.
I wish to become in a controversial position with any agent.
Brother, you already that the controversy done gone through the door already. There's no way you can say you wish to not be in a controversial position when you already took one. Vaz insisted that any step taken were in keeping with the guidance note of acquisition of goods, service, and works in the situation of emergency and extreme urgency issued by the Office of Public Procurement Policy. He contended that after the October 28, 2025 hurricane, the only reliable source of internet connectivity was through Starlink, and demand quickly depleted. What? And demand quickly depleted the local supply. The minister noted that rapid procurement of the devices was essential to restore communications for household business, blah, 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 blah. Emergency responders and blah, 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 blah. Calder agreed that the guidance note to which Vaz referred is relevant in assessing his claim. However, rather than supporting his actions, she believed she believes it explicitly renders them unlawful. So him can't escape. Yes, it was emergency, speed was required, connectivity was vital, and obtain the devices without a competitive process is allowed, said Carla. However, she said the Minister of Finance guidance note demands that in a situation of emergency or extreme urgency, the head of the procuring entity should organize the procurement process of the entity so as to enable a swift and decisive response. So it was not his job. Period, point blank. Myers also stressed that public officials are bound by established rules. That means they're not supposed to break the law. The NIA head said by inserting himself in the procurement process Vaz erred, notwithstanding his stated well-intentioned motives. Emergency procurement procedures have been used on a regular basis in Jamaica as we face multiplicities of situations requiring their use. What the minister did in this case was enter into areas that his role and duty he shouldn't have, missing in action, turning to another finding of the Auditor General, right? And that the Disaster Fund Committee NDFC was missing in action with no appointments made in the last 24 months. Carla said this was a glaring breach of law. Mighty God. The committee has the critical responsibility of managing the National Disaster Fund to facilitate the allocation of sums for relief and other purpose in the wake of a natural disaster. I am surprised that for a country that lives under the threat of at least a tropical storm or possibly a hurricane every year, that we would find the committee not meeting even when the legislation stipulates that it must meet. In fact, the Disaster Risk Management Act stipulates that the committee must meet once every 2 months. The committee last met in 2023, Calder said, pointing out that despite the passage of a Category 4 Hurricane Beryl in 2024 July, which caused extensive damage to infrastructure and agricultural sector, the NDFC did not meet before or after the storm. Caller questioned how it was possible that 3 months after the passage of the country's most catastrophic storm, it still did not occur to government that the committee had not met. Caller said the records indicate that 4.5 billion was spent between the contingencies and the National Disaster Fund. So the question is, since the law stipulates that no one can spend out of the fund without the NDFC being consulted, then isn't that a breach of law? My God. My God. Wow. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, I take it that Miss Mia Motley,
$23.5 million.
Mia Motley has secured, right? I take it that she has secured.
Whether
So they were able to do that. Then they had 2 cases, 2 persons in St. Philip North.
I take it that she has won her 3rd consecutive term in office. Congratulations to Mia Motley. See, the Labourites them was trying to, and Market Me was allegedly involved in that election in some business capacity with the opposition. It's alleged. Mighty God. Where is it? I'm sure I saw ABR News live. She must have gone a bit still, car. ABR News, see that? No, what you got? 7 hours? Mighty God. Yeah.
this is just the absence of compromise.
As we've seen with St. Lucie and St. John, politics is very much involved. So,
damn. Shout out to ABR. 7 hours. Sheesh. Wow.
You might not know about over the world, we know about underworld. And it sits up and lie, and then start female.
People. Oh wow. I'm gonna leave it right there because I want to get up early. I really do. I don't want to feel like because if I stay for the next hour, it'll go throw me off. Because I have some work for do. I have some videos for align and put together. You know what I mean? Yeah man, for your morning. So Daryl Vaz, I'm gonna put out an official video for Daryl Vaz because yo, this man is yo, this man is something else, bro. This government is something else. This whole administration is just a big joke, fam. You're a big, and I'm talking about the worst type of joke. Them is a serious joke, right? It's like somebody comes in your house, right, and takes up your stuff and attempts to walk out the door with your money and your stuff, right? And then tomorrow, you approach them about your stuff and they're like, what are you talking about? This is my stuff. This is my money. Don't you see it in my hand? This is my money. You know, some man will rob people at town and so on in city place there until they say, oh, let me have phone, man. Give me a call. Yo. Or even run up on you and say, oh, give me a phone, man. Go let me get the phone to make a call. They're going like a fear and walk away with it. And you are there left in shock, ladies and gentlemen, not knowing how to respond because this person just pull off the most insane
Power off.
move that left your brain paralyzed for a few seconds, enough for them to walk away safely without you even reacting. Even if you had a weapon on you. To how them deal with the thing like a smooth criminal, you forget say you did have the weapon on you. And them gone already and drive off. Yeah man, I saw that government. These guys are unreal, ladies and gentlemen. Unreal. Them no make no sense. Feel them I deal with. Sorry, so many about it could have come earlier still. Because I know some most of the people ain't gone to them bed. First like how they know say. No, well most of the people ain't gone to them bed. Then there are some other platform I listen because those platforms were live before me. I started too late. It is what it is. I didn't even start on time. I started like 12 o'clock, literally. And then this one on Bolo clips started later, but you know, at least I gave it some effort, you know. But I really have some darting videos I want to process for tomorrow. And I have to rethink some things because, and you know, I don't have to rethink anything. You know what is my issue right now? The only issue I have right now is equipment. That's it. That's the only issue. Once I get back all of my equipment, the productivity is going to increase and the quality is going to be higher. And that's just the facts. But you know, time is all about time. Life is life, you know. You know, I saw somebody in Colin Bell's chat, lambasting our good brother, Andre Stevens. And I was like, whoa, you know, saying that the man begged for 45 minutes. A lot of the time, Andre is over there advocating on behalf of, you know, people that are in need. And if yo, I'm telling you, people are so full of shit, bro. Like, some of y'all, man, it's hard to love y'all, bro. Y'all are really full of shit. I know that person is a plant that is just there to tear down Andre's name. And then they did the same thing that Daryl Vaz did. Act as if they respected the Auditor General while disrespecting the Auditor General. Doubling down, tripling down on the wrongdoing. It's the same thing he did in the comment section. Right? And I made sure that I locked his name. Real talk, I ain't lying. I'm not lying. I made sure I locked his name. As a matter of fact, let me see if I find it here. Let me see if I find it. I hear somebody put it. One of them space I'm drop in. Either this or hold up. Yo, I know I put that name somewhere that I can go back and say, all right, there it is. Right? For real, man. Them out order. You see me? Oh, was it this computer? I don't remember. Maybe it's the other computer I put it on, but it's easy for me to find. It's easy for me to find. Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. That person is really slimy. Why you never wait? Why you never say it to Andre when Andre? You know them way there? I never like that. And then why would you bring that over to Colin Bell's platform? Colin Bell did they poor didn't even know what going. I'm like, who not talk? What not talk about? Who them beg too much and whatever? I say, see Smadia? See Smadia? This is Smadia right there, sir. See him there? See there? See the person here? This is the person, bro. See the person here, bro. We'll make sure I copy their name. See the person here? I'm like, look at this, man. Look at this. Yo, the man says some grimy things, bro. Some grimy things. You know, I remember when The Rock and Oprah was begging people for donations. Yeah, man. Them people who have them money. Yeah, man. I remember when they were begging people for donations. Right? So when they do it, it's advocating. But when poor people do it, they're begging. Y'all full of shit, bro. Alright? Y'all full of shit. I'm telling y'all straight up, y'all is full of shit. And you know what? I'm going to start doing it more because I don't care what nobody says. Ladies and gentlemen, the super chat is open. Y'all must start reminding y'all of that. I'm going to start reminding y'all of that. You know what it is though? Jamaica has a dirty culture. Jamaica have a bad mind culture. Want to watch people money too much. With all the value that Andre Stevens brings, right? With how he uses his channel to build others and to support others that he deems genuine, right? He's not a selfish person. He's a giver, right? He gives of himself a lot. And somebody wants to be... See the person here, so? I mean no disrespect. PDTV does a good job. But he needs to stop begging. I hate that shit. This dude continuously in the comment section, fam. It is an agenda. This person is really here just trying to cause some type of ray in the comments. I'm going to be watching. Watch out, begging is a demonic format. You need to understand that you don't have to beg when people know that you are out to do. They will send if you are original, but pick up. Listen, let me tell you something. This is when I called in, but I didn't want to even give that person the attention. This person the attention. Right? No. I called in for what I called in for. So I didn't even add that to it. Because I noticed say the bridging of the call before. The general, Mr. PMP, man, they say, yo, them not talk about you, never talk about you. I'm not give them the shine either. And them the man they call Andre all the time, bro. The man they call Andre show all the time. But anyway, what may I say? Zine, Jamaica have one terrible culture. You see me? Most of the time I really have to ask Jamaican people for their support you. Them way there. them no really just Jamaican people no like give a tip. Me nah, brother, I just the truth. We don't have that culture there, bro. We don't have that culture there in Jamaica, bro. Jamaican people tight with money. You see me? When we go on other platforms and certain international platforms and you see man I get good information, brother. What you tell me say? Andre Stevenson I give good information? So something wrong with Andre or something wrong with the people and when I support him. Me been say Andre not supposed to even if you ask the people them. It's a crying shame to see so much people I watch Andre at night time. And the people them nah bless up his super chat, brother. Them just every night. Right? And I get real integral research and insight on what really are going on in our country. The man put him life on the line, fam. The man put him life, like literally the man put him life on the line for people them and for better in our country. So you see when me start, I say backside. Then if Andre now get the support from the people them, me know me not stand no chance. Because me know so much people now watch me. So me don't decide say this audience here. Majority of this audience here, enough of them don't support if them way they bro. And I just the truth. And who want vex. But I just the truth. Whole heap of people in Jamaica them not supportive them way they. Me I talk about specifically giving donation. Whole heap of people not supportive them way they in Jamaica. And 1 and 2, 5% of the population stay so. Not even 10% of Jamaica population. I mean, I talk about the entire population. Well, they are Jamaica. And I talk about the one that go overseas. Because I see when they go overseas, it's a different culture. A total different culture when they go overseas. When they go overseas and, things, a move, say, yo, brother, you have to live at it, this and this, brother. You feel like I deal with? Yeah, it's only right. That are the American culture. That's why people love when American people come to their country. Because it tip them. People make money off a tip. People build house off a tip. People buy car off a tip. Because they give them excellent service. So if you need, there's no debate about Andre. Even at our 5%, yo, hey, we talk already, and I say, yo, we say at our 5% birthday, I say, what do my people that love at our 5%? There are people that love at our 5%. At our 5% do a live. People supposed to show at our 5% with be a donation, talk about TV, same way. Be a donation, talk about TV if you get. Oh God, man, nobody talk about Mr. Mystic Sensation, man. Nobody talk about Mr. Mystic Sensation, man. Zine. Nobody talk about Mr. Wayne Lonesome, man. The amount of detail and teaching where people can get from them platform, bro. Amount of value where them get. One of the things that this thing are easy when you have to put together content, bro. Much time this take up, bro. One of the things say look at views them on TikTok are money. On YouTube are money, I mean. They look at views them and they look at 1,000 views them. I think are money. When you think that are money, when you in the comment section I can talk about man then get paid for half of YouTube. When you watch people want it too much, not too bad mind, bro. When you forgo it, I not rate to no fam. And who the cap fit wear it, bro. Anybody who watch somebody money, I not rate to no, bro. Man, they out as a thief, bro. Man, they out as a scam. You feel me I deal with? And a them thing them out as a do, bro. People have to stop them thing there, brother. And one next thing too, when we see people that love doing in the comment section, when you love pin content creator against content creator, and if you stop it, bro. Man, I go start highlighting and burning out, brother. You understand? You know, some agent type devil. You don't know. When if you stop it, man. And some could kill this woman on the app and some could kill this boy on the app. Real Jezebel and real sorcerer on the app. Just Sure. You know, when I come go my bed here, man. Right now, I not go my bed, so you know. I make sure so I go watch it if it make me laugh. I'm gonna read 2 Psalms. People big up on themselves. Word is love, isn't it? That is it.